Lord Tremendous here, got a battle report here for you. This is game 3 of 5 of the ADEPTICON 2017 Grand Tournament. This is a pretty badass one. I finally get to go up against... I'm glad I got to go up against this guy. He plays Warriors of the Dark Gods, but, oh, hell, I'm screwing it all up. 'Tis I, Lord Tremendous, the Ogre Cons, versus Dennis Gunia? I'm probably murdering it. I'm sorry, Dennis. I'm not good with words at all. Reading is not a strong suit of mine. But I think that's how you say his name. I did not use his last name while we were playing. It was mostly oohs, ahs, and swearing. And so I apologize for that. But it was Dennis G of the Warriors of the Dark Gods. And this guy has an amazing army. I've got his display board shown like a zillion different pictures. It's very cool. He's got a very cool army. And I was thrilled to get a game against him. It's a solid one too, real nail biter. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see how this one goes. The scenario for this one was randomly determined. Basically, you rolled a die, and whatever the result correlated with was what the deployment and secondary objective was. We rolled, and for deployment, we got frontline clash, and for the secondary objective, we got hold the ground, which basically is control the center of the table at the end of the game. Here's my list, and it's the same from the previous two battle reports. So I have my Khan, Blackshade. He's my general. He's got his Ogre Crossbow, the Kingslayer, the Hardened Shield, Talisman of Shielding, and the big name Horde Master. I have my Khan. He's my BSB. He's got his Ogre Crossbow, Heart Ripper, Yeti Furs, and Troll Eater. I have Sir Miscassalot, my Shaman Skaz. He's got 3 learned spells, the Dragonfire Gem, Thaumaturgy, and a Death Wish. And then, of course, I have my Mammoth Hunter, Lord Tremendous. He also has an Ogre Crossbow, the Obsidian Sword, the Armor of Fortune, the big name Headhunter, and he's on his trusty Tusker the War Teddy. Oh, yeah. My core choices start off with a unit of 7 tribesmen, the good old boys. I got Banner, Musician, Iron Fist, and the Standard of Discipline. I have the second unit of 7 by tribesmen, the Conquerors. They have a Banner, Musician, and Iron Fists. And then I have a unit of 15 Scraplings, the Randos, and all they have is bows. For my special choices, I have Sabertooth Tiger, Bow Wowzer. I have a unit of 5 Scrapling Trappers, the Favored Pets. And I have a unit of 3 Tusker Cavalry with Banner, Great Weapons, and the War Banner. In the Powder Keg category, I have a unit of 3 Bombardiers, butt naked. And then in the Chain Beast category, I have my Rock-a-Rock Warhammer. And of course, the rider has a lance, and his name is none other than Shyhammer. And the Twin Hammers kick some serious ass. Last but far from least is my Frost Mammoth, Rufus. Got a couple of Ogre Crossbows and a guy he piggybacks around, but as you saw in the last game, he's the star of the show. So many good things to say about Rufus. But anyway, that's going to do it for my list. I'm going to post my opponent's list, play some music. Feel free to pause it whenever you like to see what he took. Here are my spells. I got Trial by Faith, Wrath of God, and Cleansing Fire. All excellent to go up against the Warriors of the Dark Gods with. And here's deployment. I got to deploy first, so I said, screw it, I'm going all in. I put everything down. The Bombardiers on the far right side, their job was going to be to just cruise around. I was going to try to use that house as a little bit of cover. I figured he was playing Wars of the Dark Gods, mostly on foot. I didn't think anything was going to go over to the flank, so that's where I went. I've got my Rock and Lord Tremendous on the hill, just in case he did try to flank with something. He had no crushers or anything, nothing really fast, so I wasn't too concerned about that. And worst comes to worst, the Bombardiers could take care of any chaff, like the Warhounds he has right over by the house, and then Lord Tremendous and the Rock have free reign on the right flank there. So I figured I was set up pretty good no matter what he put out there. Everything else went into the middle towards the left. I was not overly concerned about anything. It was Warriors of the Dark Gods. He had no cannon. He had a Demon Prince Wizard. I knew he was going to come at me. I was going to come at him. In fact, I have the advantage with shooting and magic. I didn't have to be as aggressive. Not that I'm not going to be. I just didn't have to be. And so I set up like this, figuring I'm just going to square off against this guy and give him the fight he came for, because it's a tournament. No point in just kind of cornering up and waiting. I'm going to fight this guy. And that's it for deployment. Here's top of one after movement, and I go flying forward. Everything goes forward. Screw everything. I'm coming at you. I figure if the Warhounds charge me, so be it. I'll kill him, no problem. I'm not worried. He's going to come at me. I want him to. I want him to come closer so that I can charge next turn. I was a little bit more wary with the Conquerors on the left flank because I didn't want them to catch that chariot. But other than that, bring it on. And really, that's it for movement. Nothing really happens in the magic phase. Actually, nothing happens in the magic phase. But in the shooting phase, the combined shots of the Bombardiers and the Trappers smoke all but one of the little Warhounds. His general is a towering presence, was within 18 inches, and it easily passed its leadership check. But the fact that there's only one left is awesome. Now, it's really useless for the most part, and I'm happy about that. Here is bottom of one after movement, and my opponent doesn't show a whole lot of fear. He comes at me. In fact, the trolls on the left side are like, I dare you to charge me. One thing that happens I was not expecting was his big chariot charges my Tusker Calf. He needed like a 10 or 11 to hit me, and he got it. He got it no problem. In fact, I think he rolled boxcars and slammed into my Tusker Calf. It really, really sucks. I'm like, oh man, I'm probably going to lose them, and then I got to send the Conquerors in after him and try to do something about it. Really sucks, but it is what it is. He gambled and it paid off. Nothing you can do about that. The rest of his army comes in towards the center, and the one remaining dog tries to bait my Rock. That's it for movement. Here's a better picture of his chariot slamming into my Tusker Calf, and I really didn't think he was going to make that charge. Honestly, I don't think he thought he was going to make that charge, but he did, and good on him. Bet biggin' to win biggin'. During the magic phase, he gets Hand to Heaven off on Bow Wowser and slips one wound through on him. That's fine. I let this one go, because if he kills Bow Wowser, he kills Bow Wowser, but hey, it was one spell I didn't have to worry about, so that's cool. And then he gets Smite to Unbeliever off on the good old boys. And I thought about stopping it, but he did it with Overwhelming Power. So it was with 4 dice, which made it 5 because it was Thaumaturgy. I'm like, all right, so I won't charge with this unit next turn. And I'll let him do the Overwhelming Power miscast. So he does, and I believe he lowers my Strength. I think he lowers my Strength by 1, which makes him Strength 3, which means they are not charging this turn. So after the spell is resolved, he rolls for the miscast and ends up miscasting 20. Oh, that was huge. Now, keep in mind, I didn't think his general was going to die or anything like that. I didn't think my luck was that good. But any damage he does to himself, any spells that he loses or anything like that is just helping me out, especially considering it's bottom of 1. So I was excited about this because I really didn't have a great answer for his Demon Prince. So the fact that he miscast 20, I'm like, cool, he's going to put some wounds on himself. I should be sitting pretty after this. Well, I couldn't have been more right. He kills his Demon Prince. He rolls the 4 up, and his Demon Prince is just gone, just destroyed. Could not believe it. Bottom of 1, his general, over 1,000 points, just gone. Yeah, 1,120 points with killing the general, 1,320 points, bottom of 1, and I didn't do anything. Terrible luck. I felt terrible for my opponent. I've been there. I understand, but it's a tournament. You know, there's a part of me that was like, yeah, but man, I felt terrible for the dude. But at the same time, dude was cool about it the whole time. He was, it happens. It happens all the time with this guy. No big deal. Let's keep playing. Badass individual. We go into combat, and sure enough, I lose a Tusker Cav. I do some damage back to this guy. I mean, I'm still strength 6 with the great weapons. He kind of flubs his rolls a bit, and I don't remember how much damage I do, but it's enough. He wins this combat, I stay, or we tie in combat. I cannot remember which, but bottom line is we're fine. And we stay right there. So I have a little bit of hope. So here's top of 2 after movement, and I bulk. I thought about charging into his trolls with my Conquerors, and then I was like, screw that. There's nothing I can do against the trolls. But I didn't want the trolls charging into the Conquerors. I didn't want to back up. I wanted to magic him. Now that his Demon Prince is gone, I got a lot of time. So I sent Bow Wowser out there to just catch the trolls. I figure if his Lust Warriors charge in the Bow Wowser, that's fine. I'll let him hit him and cause a big bottleneck there. The warriors at this point, I'm fine with attacking. I thought about sending the Conquerors into the chariot, but I didn't want to get hung up. I didn't want to slam into the dogs. I didn't want the trolls to be able to see my Conquerors and charge them in the rear, the flank, or however that might have worked out. So I just stayed right there. I think I might have backed up even just slightly. I figure if the trolls hit the dogs and overrun or end up having to chase after him, or they do anything but reform, maybe I get a flank charge. Maybe. Meanwhile, my Rock fails on the right flank there. He fails his frenzy check, has to go after the dog. The dog flees because he fails his terror check, and he gets away. The Bombardiers go after the dog to try to finish it off so that it can't easily take, or so it can't keep baiting the Rock if it rallies. The Trappers, now that the Rock failed or his frenzy check and put himself in a position there was a semi-easy charge for the Pestilent Wasteland Warriors, which made me nervous. So against what I really wanted to do, I sent the Trappers up in front to block the Pestilent guys. I figure if they charge the Trappers and slam into them, I know they're going to kill them, but it'll stop the Rock from getting charged from them. And then the Rock can hopefully countercharge and kill them all. So we'll see what happens there, and the rest of my army just moves up to shoot. Even Skaz tries to get in on the party. So I'm a little emboldened, but at the same time, I'm playing a little cautious. Maybe that's a bad idea. You'll see in a few more turns. That's it for movement. During the magic phase, I get Cleansing Fire off on Bow Wowser. I may be sacrificing him, but at least this breath weapon will let him take a shot at the trolls, which should be cool. In shooting, the Bombardiers finish off the last remaining Warhound, which is good. Now my Rock won't be lit around by the nose chasing the stupid thing down. And like I said, I'm enjoying the Bombardiers now, which is, it's got to be a good thing, right? Shooting over here, I know my Trappers throw their weapons at the Wasteland Warriors, and I think they drop 2 of them, 1 or 2 of them. Either way, it's quite remarkable. And then my Scraplings over here unload on the dogs and kill all but 1, which again is flippin' awesome. My Scraplings are really kicking ass this tournament. I'm proud of them. We go into combat, and I lose another Tusker Cavalry, but I'm able to do some wounds to the chariot. I think it did all but 1 wound to kill this thing. So 3 wounds to like 3, I think. Plus I have a banner and a war banner. I think I win by 1 or 2. It breaks and I run it down. Also, if you notice, the Warhound did flee after the Scraplings shot it up, which is great. Ended up over there on the hill. So maybe my Tusker Cav will finish it off. Maybe not, but we'll see what happens. I'm very pleased that the left flank is starting to get locked down. So here's bottom of 2 after movement, and for the most part, he just kind of took my chaff. The Troll slam into Bow Wowser, and so be it. The Pestilent Wasteland Warriors slam into the Trappers. They do stand and shoot. They don't do anything. They don't get quite as lucky twice in a row. And that's it. I think the Lust Warriors mostly stand still, and everything else he had is dead or fleeing. The dog on the left flank there does not rally, and I'll let you know right now, he doesn't rally for the rest of the game. It just flees off the table. So that's it for movement. There's been a picture of Trolls slamming into my dog, and the Pestilent Warriors slamming into the Trappers. With no magic and no shooting, we go straight into combat, and hey, I was surprised too. All my Trappers die. I did get all their attacks, well, 4 attacks, wasn't able to hit and wound, and if I did, he was easily able to save it, and then they got murdered. With the angle they had to take, their overrun wouldn't have mattered. They'd hit the house, so they pretty much just kind of reform and stay right there. Over here against the trolls, it's the same thing. They kill the dog, no problem. I don't think the dog was able to do it. Maybe one wound. Maybe the dog got one wound through. But he died. There's really no good overrun, so I think he just reforms and ends up more or less right where he's at. So with combat over, here's top of 3 after movement. And... see, I know how this ends up, so I'm not overly proud of it. But at the same time, it seemed like a good call at the time. I don't really have an answer to the trolls, but I figured with Rufus and all the attacks that I'll be getting with the Conquerors and my Con having lethal strike, maybe I could do some damage to this unit. I wasn't going to be able to slam into anything else reliably. I was afraid to try to charge the Lust Warriors and fail, and then get flank charged by the Trolls, so I sent Rufus and the Conquerors into the Trolls. It was a front charge with both of them. It was a risk. I know they've got regen. There's no flaming attacks in this army whatsoever, so it was an all or not. Either I go in here and I am able to break the Trolls, who are only leadership 4, or they hold and I die. So I gambled. I sent Rufus and the Conquerors in, and I hope for the best. Everything else I have really just kind of gets into counter-charge formation. I didn't want to charge with the good old boys into the Pestilent Warriors because I'm just not ready for that fight. I thought about charging Lord Tremendous into them, but I was worried about a counter-charge from the Lust Warriors. You know what? I think I talked myself out of a lot of good charges. So instead, I played the safe game. I've got the Bombardiers and the Rock on the right there waiting to countercharge. I got the Tusker Cav on the left flank with the Scraplings ready to try to, countercharge whatever they can there. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it wasn't. Hindsight's 20/20, but that's what I did for movement. There's been a picture of my gamble, and I really hope this pays off. I would really love to just win by 1. Just if I could just win by 1. That's all I need, and they're really good odds that those trolls are out of there, which would be huge. During a magic phase, I'm able to call down the Wrath of God. My opponent doesn't really have a whole lot of magic defense left, so it's a lower magic phase, so I just blow it all into Comet, and it works out, and I put it over by the Wasteland Warriors because I'm not trying to deter them from moving. I just want to make sure that any damage I do only hits my opponent's units, not my own. We go into combat, and my opponent makes more regen saves than I've ever seen a unit of trolls make in the history of regen saves. I do like 3 wounds. That's it. That's all they get through. In return, he kills 3 tribesmen. Oh my god! He wins this combat. I make my break checks, unfortunately. It would have been better if one of those units had fled. But I make my break checks, and he just straight up took it. Oh, and I'm about to pay for it. That's just... I needed to win by 1. Damn it! So we go over here to bottom of 3, and my opponent does the only smart thing he can do, and charges Lust Warriors into the side of Rufus. I mean, holy crap. The Pestilent Warriors, I think, maybe try to charge the good old boys and fail, or they just stay put. I really don't remember, but for the most part, they look like they're sitting exactly where they were, so they probably didn't try to charge. And that's it for movement. Oh, I'm still sick to my stomach that the trolls just completely destroyed Rufus and the Conquerors. Oh, opponent did so well there. Oh, there's a better picture of my opponent capitalizing on my failed gamble. His Lust Warriors have slammed into the flank of Rufus. Come on, Rufus, I need you to pretend that they're Temple Guard. Oh, that's so bad. In the magic phase, he doesn't have one, so we go straight to the Wrath of the Gods. It comes down, and I kill 3 of the Pestilent Warriors. I just finish off the back rank. It could have been so much better, but it wasn't. It only hit them. It was a very small Wrath. Could have been so much more, and instead it was rather disappointing. But I guess I shouldn't complain too much. It's 3 less warriors that I have to deal with now, so I guess beggars can't be choosers. We go into combat, and you know what? Rufus puts up a hell of a fight. He's able to kill 6 of the Lust Warriors before they cut him to pieces. The Trolls, again, I think I got maybe a wound through. A wound. They murder 3 more tribesmen. I auto-break. And the Trolls run down the Conquerors, no problem. I think the Lust Warriors stood where they were. And then just reformed. It was so devastating. I thought I had the Trolls. I needed to win combat by 1! I underestimated the 4-up regen. And I paid the ultimate price with the Conquerors, Khan, and Rufus. I would have been better off sending Rufus into the Lust Warriors. I really would have. Oh, I blame myself in somewhat society. Damn well played by my opponent, though. What can I say? The man outplayed me here. So here's top of 4 after movement, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little, my pride was hurt a little bit because Rufus died. The Conquerors dying suck too. I really like him. I like Khan, but when Rufus dies, I want revenge. And you know who killed Rufus? The Lust Warriors. So I send the good old boys into the Lust Warriors. Rufus killed 6 of them. They're not quite as tough as they were. I did send the Tusker Cav into the flank of them, and I failed that charge. It upset me. I was not prepared to lose Rufus that way, so I felt they had to suffer. So I sent the good old boys in there to do a little revenge seeking. I did try to send the Tusker Cav in there as well, but he just wasn't feeling like cardio today. Lord Tremendous goes into the Pestilent Warriors, and because there's only 12 of them, and I figured he could probably, maybe take them, I was willing to check. I send my Rock around the flank there, around to the back end to countercharge what's ever left, just in case. I'm trying to hedge my bets. The Bombardiers move up to shoot at the Trolls. Skaz moves into a position to I'm kind of hoping that the Trolls will charge Skaz and stay away from everything else. The Scraplings stay right where they are because they can shoot at the Trolls no problem, and that's it for movement. There's a better picture of the good old boys and Lord Tremendous getting a little motivated to kick some Wasteland Warrior buttocks. And there's a better picture of my Tusker Cav failing a charge because booty ain't what he's about. During the magic phase, I get Trial by Faith off on the Trolls. I was trying to pull Dispel dice so I could get a Wrath off again, or possibly Cleansing Fire. My opponent's smarter than that, let it go, and I don't think it did anything. Maybe a wound to the Trolls, not enough to be good, useful, or anything. Kind of frustrating, but it was a garbage spell and he knew it. And we go into combat. Lord Tremendous did very well. He killed 4 of the Pestilent Warriors and took no wounds in return. I charged and did 4 wounds. He had a banner, but he's steadfast and makes his brave check. I just needed to kill, 3 more? It is what it is. I'm really grateful that I didn't take any wounds, so there is that. But it's a start. I should be able to take care of this unit with Lord Tremendous. Over here, the good old boys do quite well indeed. As you can see, we eviscerate this unit. I do lose a couple of tribesmen in return, almost 3, but 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, plus I charge, plus I have a banner. He did 3, 6, 7, 8 to me. So, I mean, I think I won by 3 or 4. He needed a 3 or 4 to stay, and he made it. The Lust Warriors stood their ground, and then is when I noticed that the Trolls are in my flank. Son of a bitch. Oh, my opponent is rolling beautifully, and it's killing me. It's killing me. But, hey, can't fault the guy for doing well. Here's bottom of 4 after movement, and the Troll slam into the flank of the good old boys. I mean, he literally needed like a 3 or a 4. I don't know what it is with these low leadership checks by my opponents in this tournament, but holy crap, when they need it, they're rolling low as hell. I guess I shouldn't really complain too much after what happened in the last game. Leadership checks have just been amazing this entire game for my opponents. Bad or good, so what can I really complain about? But damn, that wasn't supposed to happen. It's the only thing he does in his movement phase, but it is devastating. There's a better picture of my opponent beautifully outplaying me, and what can you do? And we go into combat. The music is fitting. He butchers my unit. The good old boys know they're dead, and they just give up. I'm able to kill all but 3 of the Lust Warriors. I think I do nothing to his trolls. I break, I get away, but man, straight up thunder blasted me. And I didn't even get a phone number. Over here, things go equally as bad. Tremendous is able to kill two of the warriors, and in return, I take 3 wounds. I almost died. So I take 3 wounds. I only did 2. He's got a banner. He wins by 2. I need a 7 to stick. I break, but I'm able to get away. God! Oh, I thought I had this game, and it's so quickly getting away from me. Unbelievable. But you know what? That just goes to show you my opponent's perseverance is what's really starting to turn this game around. He could have quit, could have gave up. The man stuck to his guns, kept on fighting, and look how he's routing me. I am impressed. I'm very impressed. Excellent by my opponent. Now maybe you understand why that music was so fitting. And speaking of fitting, here's top of 5 after movement, where, you guessed it, I don't rally shit. So Blackshade, the moron, flees. They don't rally. They flee off the table. I roll like 11 or 12 inches. They're off the mother effing table. Could not believe it. And to make matters worse, Lord Tremendous doesn't flip and rally. Oh, I can't win. The only thing I got is Shyhammer Warhammer slam into the flank of the Lust Warriors. The only hope I have to get any points here is to slam into them, finish off the Lust Warriors, and hopefully, get those points and overrun far enough that I'm out of the charge arc of the trolls. If not, I'm so SOL, there's nothing else I can do. But if I don't charge them into them and those points get away, I'm going to lose anyway. So I'm screwed no matter what I do. Meanwhile, I send the Scraplings after the objective on the left side just so that I can try to secure some points. I send the Tusker Cav over towards the middle to go after the Pestilent Warriors because I need him to get over there before the end of the game. Skaz backs off to try to get the Pestilent Warriors. There's only 4 left. If I can kill them, I can get some much needed points. It's a point grab at this point. I've given up the fact that my Rock is probably going to die in order to secure me the Lust Warrior points. Oh my god, I just hope that Lord Tremendous rallies. I am screwed. And I've also got the Bombardiers on the right side to hopefully help me capitalize and take out the Pestilent Warriors. Oh, I need to do better. So much better. There's a better picture of me just trying to collect as many points as I can. I know I've probably given up points for the Rock by doing this, but I need to get the points from the Lust Warriors. It was a 24-man brick of those guys. I know they're worth more than a Rock. I just hope they're worth enough. During the magic phase, I get Cleansing Fire off on the on the Tusker Cav. The idea here is to give them a breath weapon to fire at the Pestilent Warriors, and I just need to kill 4 models to secure those points. They're Wasteland Warriors. I know they're worth a lot, even though it's only a brick of like 16, 17. But man, I'm desperate, like a drowning man. I only use 3 flippin' dice to cast a spell, but Thaumaturgy makes it 4 because I overwhelming powered it and made a miscast 16. Ah, Skaz, you son of a bitch! And of course he dies. He dies like the twisted rat bastard that he is. Ah! I threw 3 flippin' dice at it. All I wanted was a breath weapon. And Skaz goes, "This is my moment!" and tears open the veil and dies. His head explodes, which it doesn't make any sense. It's hollow like a friggin'... God damn it, Skaz! Usually I take blame for these, but this was a spiteful thing he did, and I'm not happy. Not happy. Bad Skaz. You deserve to die in this one. In the shooting phase, Cleansing Fire is able to evaporate the remaining Chaos Warriors. I get like 10 hits or something like that. It was beautiful, breath weapon attack, and it does like 8 wounds. He doesn't save them or something like and they get evaporated, which is glorious. We go into combat, and Warhammer, all by himself, is able to obliterate the final 3 Lust Warriors, securing me those points. He's frenzied, I have to overrun, and I overrun like 6 inches. It's almost a rear. I needed to go about 10 in order to get this charge arc, give or take, so I know it was a lot. It looked like less when I charged, but I needed those points. So I ended up giving up a flank to these trolls, as you can see right there, and guess what's about to happen? I knew it was coming. Oh, in the bottom of 5 after movement, the trolls slam into the rock. Knew it was coming. That was part of the plan, so what can you do? But yeah, they slam into the hammers, and all I can do is hope. That's it for movement. There's been a picture of the trolls slamming into the rock, and he just needs to hold out. He's toughness 6. There's a chance. We go straight into combat, and the Rock is able to withstand it. I think he takes 2 wounds, and he's able to do 3 to the unit. 2 or 3 to the unit. I can't remember exactly how many. So I got charged in the flank, and I took 2 wounds, like anywhere from 1 to 3 wounds. They win this combat. I'm stubborn 8, and I make my check. So he's not dead yet, and he's holding his own. He's keeping him there. I just need him to hold out for a couple more combats. I'm able to pass my leadership check again to turn to face him, taking the flank away, and my opponent spreads out. He reforms to go 5 wide, which I guess was just to get himself the extra handful of attacks. Here's top of 6 after movement, and I thought about sending the Tusker Cav in to try to help out the Rock, but honestly, I think all that would have happened is he would have died. I'm not getting any attacks through D3 Strength 5 plus whatever 4 attacks from the Tusker. I just wasn't feeling it. Yes, Lord Tremendous fails to rally and runs off the table because so the Scraplings and the Tusker Calf secure the objectives. My Rock holds tight there against the trolls, and all I can hope is that the Rock doesn't get killed this turn, so the trolls can reform and charge either the cavalry or the Scraplings. I'm all out of hope. We go straight into combat. I do nothing to these godforsaken trolls. They make every regen check. It's friggin' mathematically impossible, but they're doing it. Oh! I take 2 more wounds. They've only got 2 left. He's at 4 wounds. I lose this combat. He is able to stay. Just 1 more combat. I just need him to stick for 1 more combat. We go to bottom of 6. There's obviously not any movement because everything that he has left is in close combat with my Rock, so that makes it easy. We go into combat, and my opponent flubs. The Rock sticks and stays above 25%. I was so pleased. I mean, I did some wounds to him again, but he regened all of them. These are the best trolls on the face of the planet that ever have or ever will be. But although they were able to kill the Conquerors, help with Rufus, destroyed the good old boys, and ran off my general, they were not able to destroy, break, or move the immovable object that is the Twin Hammers, Warhammer Shyhammer. That one had me clenching. I'm not gonna lie. There it is. There's the end of the game, and holy crap. What a great game to end day 1 of the GT on. I just wanted a nap after this game, like an 8-hour nap. Some call that passing out. Whatever. Don't judge me. Don't tell me how to live my life. Yeah, I couldn't do anything against those trolls. If he had just thrown the trolls out all by themselves, they would have destroyed my entire army all by themselves, because I have no flaming attacks. The only thing I had to negate regen was Lethal Strike on Khan, and I have to roll 6s to wound to do that, and I didn't. And they ate Khan alive early on. My opponent played his army beautifully, especially with the turn 1 handicap, and holy crap, what a joy to play, an exhausting joy to play against his opponent. So let's get into the recap real quick, because after this battle report, I'm so exhausted, I'm going to need a nap. I'm going to need to recover from the game from doing the battle report. I need to work out more. But yeah, this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
So in the end, it was a victory for Lord Tremendous. I got 4,094 out of him. He got 3,538 out of me for a difference of 556. This was a very close game. It was a 12-8 game, but I secured the objectives, which made it a 15-5. Objectives, man, they really swing the games. I ended up losing Blackshade, Khan, Skaz, Lord Tremendous, both units of Tribesmen, my Trappers, Bow Wowzer, and Rufus. Oh, man. So, yeah, I mean, this was a crazy close game. Biting my nails right off the bat. I'm still flustered, as you can tell. I had no answer for the trolls. Zero. I either need to bring Pyromancy, the Flaming Standard, or both from now on, because those trolls would have rocked me no matter what, and I just had nothing to throw at them. I was far too scared of the Warriors. I probably should have sent something into them sooner, but yeah, I made a mistake there, and my opponent capitalized on it. I really suck at leadership checks. I lost Blackshade and Lord Tremendous because I couldn't rally them. And good old Skaz, when I got to rely on him, he's going to miscast himself off the table. I threw 3 flippin' dice at it. 3! And I miscast. That has to be Skaz's fault. I refuse to admit it's mine. So when I first saw my opponent's army, the great weapons on his warriors confused me. I'm like, they got high initiative, and I'm going to get all my attacks against them? Huh, okay. And it confused me until they started swinging, and my guys started dying left, right, and center. You know, you would think that, you know, a unit of 18 or a unit of 24 isn't that many, but no, it was definitely enough, and that hurt. But in the end, I got lucky and was able to take him out, but oof, great weapons on Wasteland Warriors. Don't underestimate them. But the thing that really made this game so close instead of a outright slaughter was the fact that my opponent, unfortunately for him, miscast his Demon Prince right off the table in turn 1. Had it happened in turn 2, I think this would have been a much different game, with me losing 5-15. Oof. This was an amazing game, though. Like, everything that happened was so nail-biter, so stressful. It's just like, you can't help but enjoy it. A really amazing opponent. Dude was upbeat the whole time. One of the first things he offered me was a beer. I was DDing, so I had to decline. But just, you know, that kind of personality, that kind of cool guy and stuff like that. Had a gorgeous army. I was fawning over the army before I knew I was going to play him. And just to see his army again, I'd love to play this guy again. Would love to get a rematch. Real quick, I want to say thank you to everybody that supports me financially through Patreon, PayPal, and other means. I have many donators, but these are the individuals that allow me to thank them properly, and I shall do so now. Alex of the Vale Renegades, South Florida's Gamermancy team, Daniel Jolson, and Caillou Choi. Thank you guys very, very much. I appreciate it. I'm humbled by it, and I hope I continue to be worthy of your patronage. But that's going to do it, guys and gals. That's it for Battle Report number 73. It is officially in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to them as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.